evening. Welcome out to the Deal of the Week video here, where we go and review different property opportunities and deals that have happened in recent auctions. We're going to be looking at some different auctions that have happened recently here in Wisconsin tonight for this first deal.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Shade said, this is a property that already come for auction. In fact, this looks like a 1.61 acre parcel with a cabin. It's actually really close to a lake. Sold back in May 2024, and so ended up selling for around 182 grand.
And we have some images here of the property. One of the benefits that we get from properties in this area, or from Wisconsin, are some interior images here of the property. And we've actually we can see this one actually still has utilities hooked up to it.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that we've got water, power. Like Shade said, the power's still going. And even though it's an older property, it looks like the upkeep is pretty good. And as we get into the interior photos, we can see a little bit more of the condition. It's a little bit outdated, but it looks like it's in pretty good condition.
Yeah, actually, it looks like it's in excellent condition, and the water heater looks brand new. The utilities don't really look that old. The paint doesn't look that old. I mean, nothing really about that part of it looks very old. We actually have some interior images of it as well, and we've got some of those. We can see that it's not a new house, by any means, but it's been pretty well kept up, and I would venture to say that the paint on the outside, I'm sure, is new, and it looks like somebody's always cared for it.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit outdated, but I think if you were to invest 10 to 20 grand in the interior and in new paint, carpets where needed, any type of maybe flooring, and a few other things within the property, I think it would really help it to, if you planned on turning and reselling this property after going through quiet title, with a little bit of an update and upkeep, this property I think could really be a nice property, especially because the property values within the area. You can see here's the lake, pretty nice lake, really close to the property. You have access to the boat dock there. And so, overall, a pretty good property in a really unique location, located on one of the Wisconsin lakes.
Yeah, it opened up for just $100, and it's probably one that seems like it sold for a lot. I mean, I know that sometimes when you're looking at sales, it's easy to look at a sale and say, oh, that property sold for big money, but in reality, 182,000 still is leaving quite a bit of room for profitability based on the comps in the area.
Yeah, exactly. One of the properties right next to it ended up selling for 534,000, about the same size. In fact, right next to it, there's a lot for sale for 600,000. So, we have a property sold a year ago close by for 534. The lot values, I mean, it looks like this area is going up in value. And, as far as the price, even though they paid quite a bit more, there's still, a potential of $300,000 worth of potential profit. So that's a property you could put in 20 grand, make it look a lot better, kind of really give it a good look. And the location itself is going to bring somebody in to buy it. Now that you've updated the interior, you can get that higher price for the property.
Yeah, well, and it still gives you the ability to double your money on this, essentially, which is, and even more than that, that's probably a bare minimum of what you could do on it, and so, yeah, really, these are impressive numbers and really good comps too. One nice thing about some of these areas that we're looking at is they've lots of active sales that are happening, and so, there are good comps that are available. These are great comps that are right there close to the property that gives a pretty good indication of value. We know it's going to fall somewhere in between, these ranges, and and is an area that's going up, so it's a good place to hold property long term.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes in tax sale investing, just based on the competition, as long as we're profitable, you're not always going to get nice properties like this that we can get that interior photos, we can see the condition. You're not always going to get that for 20 or 30 cents on the dollar. Maybe you've got to pay up a little bit for it. They ended up picking this one for around 36% of market value, so still pretty good price. And like I mentioned earlier, I think with the rehab, this property would really sell quickly and also get it that higher price of $500,000 so that you have that newer look.
Yeah, it really is. It's interesting how even though 182,000 is is a lot to pay for a property, it's all really contingent upon the value of it. And if these properties being worth $500,000, it's a pretty safe investment. In fact, very safe at those prices. The lot itself is probably valued pretty good. And so, yeah, this is an interesting property, but it's really the value of the properties. It's that range of values between 500,000 to $1 million that makes this investment, not so risky and actually a lot better than you might initially think it is just from glancing at it.
Yeah, with this particular property, especially because we're able to know that information beforehand about like interior condition, we would pay up to about 40 cents on the dollar for this. So them getting it at 36 cents on the dollar, pretty good deal. Overall, I think they're going to be pretty profitable on this property.
Yeah, yeah, very nice deal.
Well, thank you for watching our video and stay tuned for our next video.
Thanks so much.